battle the COVID-19 pandemic, the county's finances remain impacted and future financial assistance uncertain. This proposed budget represents months of planning to help us identify cost savings and important programs and services to prioritize with our constrained resources. County real estate taxes were last raised in 2017 and have remained flat for the past 3 consecutive years. In order to balance our budget, which is required by law for county governments, we are recommending a planned $6.7 million drawdown of our fund balance paired with a 5% real estate tax increase. The 5% increase, which equates to $29 per year for the average homeowner, would provide $10.5 million in new real estate tax revenue and keep the fund balance at $88.9 million, or 19.6% of the 2021 projected revenue, keeping the county in a stable financial position. This will give us much needed flexibility to meet this pandemic head on in a time of uncertain assistance from either the state or the federal government. To help ease the burden of individuals on a fixed income, I'm going to ask my colleagues to consider a proposal that will be a real estate tax deferral program. This will allow eligible households to postpone the payment of increases in real estate taxes on their homes. This program would help people 65 years of age or older with an annual household income of $35,000 or less, including 50% of Social Security income. All county property taxes would be deferred under this program. All taxes deferred under this program would be secured each year by a real estate tax lien and deferred for collection until the property changes hands in the future. If approved with the 2021 budget, the real estate tax deferral program would provide peace of mind for our most vulnerable residents living on a fixed income. And also just wanted to be clear that this would apply to the county portion of the real estate tax bill only. It would not apply to taxes levied by the local municipality or the local school district. I want to thank Mr. Dortone, his finance team, our senior team, and our county departments who have worked so closely together over the past several months in countless meetings and phone calls to identify savings and priorities for this 2021 budget. We will make our final decision on this budget at our commissioners meeting on December the 17th at 10 a.m. This public hearing is intended for the Board of Commissioners to listen and hear comments from the public, but not to respond directly to individual questions during the hearing. Per our public comment guidelines, each member of the public will be given up to 3 minutes to comment. All comments will be recorded in the public record. For any of you attending in person, please be sure to sign in on our sign-in sheet. If you have a specific question that you would like an answer to, please include your contact information on the sheet and we will be sure to get back to you. For those of you who are logged in via Zoom, please use the raise your hand button to indicate you would like to provide a comment. We look forward to taking your comments into account as we make our final considerations on this budget. Before I turn over to Mr. Stein to read the rules of public comment, do either of my colleagues want to give any comments at this time? Commissioner Lawrence?
Good morning, everyone. I'm looking forward to hearing the comments from the public this morning. Appreciate the emails that have been received so far and continuing this dialogue. One program that I just want to address in the budget, which I didn't have the opportunity when it was introduced, was the pretrial services program, which I am fully in favor of. And we've actually been able to begin to implement that this year already. However, I do want to express that I know that there is a lot of community interest in this program. And while this is a courts program, the county, of course, funds it. And there needs to be some community outreach and community education about that about that program specifically, since it is one of the larger items in the budget. And of course, that there's so much community interest in it. So I definitely want to see that happen before final passage of the budget. So I've expressed that to courts, but I just wanted to express that publicly as well, that I want there to be community outreach and education on the pretrial services program. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lawrence. Commissioner Gale, any comments? Okay, then with that, I will turn over to Solicitor Stein. If you could please read the rules of public comment.
Speakers that are physically present should sign into the meeting at the sheet available in the room. Speakers on Zoom should use the raise your hand feature. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All speakers that are physically present must keep their mask on and utilize the hand sanitizer that is available at the podium. All public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the commissioners for consideration or which may come before the commissioners for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to county business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. Profane, slanders, or discriminatory language or comments will not be tolerated in accordance with the county's non-discrimination policy. Time limits of 3 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of this hearing, so the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the hearing. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to county business once the solicitor has made a determination on such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, shall be grounds for removal from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. And as always, commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedback at commissioners@montcopa.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. All right, Ms. Co-Francisco, do you want to begin with anybody who's in the room?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm David Morgan from Ambler, Pennsylvania, and I'm concerned because I did hear the testimony on the 19th from Mr. Otone about the budget, and we have concerns that, first of all, last spring we had to have our taxes delayed because of the cost. Now we have a 5% increase. I think that we have to really be concerned about the article in the paper where we had up to 47,000 people, 47,000 households could face eviction. I think that shows our state of the economy. I think we have to be concerned with knowing how to go forward. We have a $400 million proposal for a county campus plan. Now, it's hard to get this on the website unless you go down to the bottom of the website and you look up the place where it says long-term, capital improvements plan. And in that place, we find figures that were given today to be in $51 million on the county campus plan under expenditures. And I think that's going to be very hard to afford. And then it increases to 102 million on 2022, 129 million, 2023, 72 million, 2024, 67 million, 2025. That was not mentioned, that those increases, which are going to be escalating tax burden. We know we have the 2.75% salary increases. We have pension liabilities to cover. We have, as Mr. Gale mentioned, a new position at $95,000 for diversity, which could maybe volunteer. We have debt service, which is going to be escalating things in cost. So we have interest rates helping us when we have refinancing helping your budget in the past year. That is going to be drying up, I'm afraid, as people have already refinanced at these rock bottom rates. And also, there was the CARES funding, which was, I believe, in your budget, page 2, where it says other, 26 million. Suddenly, it's a very large number. That's what a question I have. What does other mean to make the budget looking rosy? So I suggest, perhaps for good news, have a tax cut. Take out money from the campus plan of 51 million If we need 10.5 million, maybe reduce that by 30 or 40 million and give a tax cut to us and help with $1,000 grants to landlords and tenants so that they can fix up properties, maybe with Habitat for Humanity, maybe helping to stretch our dollars, helping with job training so people can get back in the workforce, help with rents, and so that we have solvency with everybody besides this government center, the people of the communities of Montgomery County. So I think that could be really good news instead of the unfortunate news of a tax increase and drawing down once again our budget.
Mr. Morgan, your time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Are there any other in-person commenters?
Yes.
Sheriff Kilkenny, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, thank you very much, County Commissioners. My name is Sean Kilkenny. I'm the Montgomery County Sheriff. I live in Jenkintown Borough, but I'm not here as a Jenkintown resident. I'm here as your sheriff. First of all, I want to praise the County Commissioners. We all recognize these are very difficult budget times. And I want to praise the County Commissioners for holding the line on supporting law enforcement. The deputies and the staff of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office are very, very appreciative that I know other counties have done furloughs and layoffs to Sheriff's Office and staff, and that has not been the case in Montgomery County. So I want to be here to praise your commitment to the Sheriff's Office and to law enforcement in general. We view our relationship with the County Commissioners as a partnership. As everybody knows, I'm an independently elected row officer, but you as commissioners control the purse strings, so we have to work together. So in October of this year, we began conducting online sheriff sales, the first sheriff's office in the Commonwealth to go ahead and do so. We have seen on that first sheriff sale an uptick of almost 20% of revenues because we're online and gave more public access to different people bidding on sheriff sales. We've also worked with, in these challenging COVID times, transitioning our license to carry firearm procedures to an online application and notification process, again, at no cost to the taxpayers. We have evening hours, we have weekend hours. We know there's a great backlog in license to carry, but our staff is working hard to address that. We've worked with you on our fee revenues. We did a modest increase, our first one since 2016. And in return, we appreciate the fact that you held the line on our staff, both deputies and OSPs, and also provided us riot helmets and gear that we may need in these troublesome times to make sure that our deputies are safe, as well as the public. We're working in partnership with your county procurement office, and we really appreciate Mr. Dortone and his predecessor on starting a policy about vehicle replacement. And previously, this had been ad hoc. And when we needed a vehicle, we would ask for one. Sometimes we got one and we didn't. Now we have a regular schedule where we are going ahead and rotating vehicles in and out, which is much more prudent, gives us much more reliability, and is saving costs on maintenance. So again, we are also sending our deputies to the Montgomery County Community College Police Academy, saving the commissioners costs rather than sending to the Sheriff's Academy and State College on the tune of about $4,000 per deputy. So finally, I want to thank the commissioners. I want to thank the staff for working with the MCSO and supporting law enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff, and I would be remiss if I just didn't publicly acknowledge the great work that you and all of your deputies have done throughout this entire pandemic. So please extend our thanks to all of those that have served us so well during this time.
Thank you.
Is there any additional in-person comment?
Not appear so.
No? Okay. Is there any comment then via the Zoom link?
It does not appear so.
Okay. I do see one individual. Is that anyone that wished to make a comment? Pat, Leo, if you were interested in a comment, this would be the time. Okay. Then if there's none, then are there any closing commissioner comments? No? Okay. All right, then this hearing will recess until 5:30 p.m. today. For those who wish to come in person, it will be in the same location in the Commissioners Board room. And the Zoom link for the 5:30 hearing will also be put out via social media. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you at 5:30.